Okay, I think we are live. Give me just a second. Looks like people are still coming in. Give me just a second. All right, cool. Give me awesome. Okay, looks like we're live. So, awesome. Looks like some people are coming through right now. So that is awesome. I am kind of running a little bit behind today, but that's okay. I have had some technical difficulties. Uh, Trying to sign in into both my Google Analytics account and also our Carrot account. So I had to manipulate some stuff. So, but I'm here. But awesome that everybody else is here. So thank you again, guys, for being on this call. And let me just make sure that you guys can hear me fine. I'm excited on this call because I was let me just go ahead and do this real quick. There we go. So the basics of Google Analytics, learning to fill the gaps, and what I mean by filling the gaps is, I recently was messing around with Google Analytics, which I typically try not to do, to be quite honest with you. I mean, to a certain level, it's good that you kind of look at a lot of the different metrics that's available, and sometimes too, though, it's kind of can get dangerous because you begin to go down that rabbit's hole and begin to look at things really, maybe what you perceive at the surface that might be an issue is really not an issue, so anyways, I'll explain more. I don't want to take up too much time trying to get this call started. So again, today's call is going to be about Google Analytics, learning to fill the gaps. So before I actually go any much further, if you can let me know you see my screen and that you see or you can hear me fine, let me know, please. I just want to make sure that all the technical aspect of this call is good. So if we can have one or two of you letting me, I see the screen and also hear you fine, and then I'll know that we're good to go. So just need one person to tell me that, so then we'll get going. All righty, one person. So make sure you guys hear me and see me. So bear with me. Awesome, thanks, Mark. So again, this call is about Google Analytics, and cool, great. I got another confirmation, and so all right, let's get going. So new content to check out. There is two Carrot Cast, actually one Carrot Cast. One is the number one PPC metrics where you need to build number one PPC metrics you need to build into your real estate marketing strategy with Adrian. That's me, actually. Me and Trevor, it was pretty cool. We actually did a call live on Facebook and recorded the Carrot Cast at the same time. And I actually shared some of my information on with my PPC. And so it was pretty cool to do that call. But really, it's probably one of those, if you guys are doing paid traffic, it is so vital that you guys understand your numbers. So Trevor went through his methodology and how to do that, and just really how to tie that stuff in. So it was an awesome call. So make sure that you guys are checking that out. And of course, please leave a review. Let us know how what you're getting out of the Carrot Cast. Again, leave a review. If you have not subscribed, subscribe as well, and make sure that you're always kept up to date on those new releases each and every week. So this week, again, it's about knowing your metrics. Also, new content, what's your credibility score? So our brand new whiteboard video, you can check that over on the Carrot blog. And also product update that's also available in the blog section. Now get more from your stats on board. And actually, I'll kind of go over some of that. It's pretty cool. So anyways, those are some awesome new content to check out. So make sure that you're diving into those. Weekly dose of awesomeness. This comes from AIP or Brett Arrington. I saw your video on sending any success stories. I started using Investor Care about 6 months ago. I'm now ranking #1 in my city on Google search. I had several leads, but closed my first deal from the website a few weeks ago. The lady contacted me through the website, wanted to relocate to Florida. The house has an ARV of 180. purchase for 170. Current doing about 14K in cosmetic repairs and upgrading kitchen and bath. This will be a very successful flip. Thanks, Investor Care. If this one deal will pay for my website for many years to come. So that is pretty awesome. Congrats to Brett on that. I know he's come through a couple of times. I've seen his chats asking for help, and so awesome. On that, congrats. So let us know once that deal closed. Would love to get more information, and I'm sure it will inspire many others as well. So, all right. So awesome. All right, a little bit more about me. Adrian Nez, customer success hero. I'm head of customer strategy. So if you guys need some help with strategy, I'm the person that you will normally be talking to. So I love what I do with that. Just we're able to give great insight, be able to help people go to the next level in their online lead generation. And since I've been doing that in my own business for a while now, and just really love that aspect of it. So full-time investor and entrepreneur, been generating leads with just my Carrot sites, and that's been really strictly with Google. So that's SEO, pay-per-click, and also YouTube marketing. Been full-time since 2009. Now I've dabbled in a few prior to that, but full-time since 2009. Super passionate about investors, about inbound marketing, and self-proclaimed beach bum. I don't know how cool that is now. We're looking. I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, so we actually might be impacted by. We might have Irma might have an impact on us. So prayers. I believe in prayer. So pray that that Irma stays out there and does not hit the U.S. So it looks like it's a pretty serious hurricane, and so I'm sure there's a lot of Carrot members in Florida as well, not just North Carolina, South Carolina, but really along the East Coast. So anyway, all right, that's really about it with that. So let's see, make sure everything is good. So yeah, let's dive right in. And now I'm going to kind of keep this short with Google Analytics, because here's the thing with Google Analytics. I really don't want everyone to start diving into Google Analytics and start chasing, going down that rabbit's hole. Okay. For a couple of reasons. One, a lot of the tools are kind of already built into the Carrot system on the back end. So check out the newest blog post I believe it's called Product Update. So check that out. We go into the many updates that's been happening. If some of you haven't been in your back office lately, check it out. There's been some pretty cool updates there. And a lot of it has to do with stats, which is tied into Google Analytics. So a lot of what you need on the surface, your most basic, you're going to always be able to get through your Carrot system. I mean, that's one of the things that we try to do, is really make it convenient to where you're not having to dive into third parties. But also, if you guys want to if you guys are driving a lot of traffic, diving into Google Analytics, could provide some benefit. But again, not to send you down a rabbit's hole. And you just kind of have to, again, we'll kind of go over into what I'm talking about. But everything that you need in terms of Google Analytics is already built into the Carrot system. Actually, we'll go into my account here shortly, and you'll kind of see what I mean by that. So let me ask you, anybody on this call currently going to their Google Analytics account? Anybody utilizing that pretty frequently? Send through your information. Would love to kind of see what you guys look at. Would love some feedback on what information that you guys are specifically looking at, if you guys are spending time inside Google Analytics. So yeah, if you are, please let me know. But again, let's first kind of go into the product update first. So bear with me on that. So give me just a second. All right. Okay, cool. Oops. All right, let me. All right. let's kind of go around. Oh, so yeah, bear with me, guys, for just a quick second. Du-du-du. Okay, so here's the back end of now. I should have actually signed into mine through the normal carrot account that I have. I'm still a full paying customer, so I can actually go in the same way that you guys do. So I probably should have done that because I'm more in the carrot admin account, so it probably looks a little bit different. So please take that consideration if something looks different. But what I really was looking to do is actually, you know what? Let's look at it from you guys' point of view. So actually, sorry guys, let me just do this. I'm gonna sign in through my regular carrot account just so there's no confusion. I just don't want you guys to see something different and wondering why mine looks different. Excuse me. All right. Give me just a quick second. I'm just going through my account real quick to bring that up. Da-da-da. Okay, here we go. All right. Cool. Okay. Alrighty, so let's switch over. All right. Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. So hey Joel, Amy. Actually it's going on now. The call starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So let me know you see this. All right, cool. We got Shannon. Awesome. All right, cool. All right. So the cool thing with the new update, and again, go over to uncare.com and you'll see, let's show you where that article is. So blog right here. Just go ahead and it's inside the blog, and it'll really give you more in depth about the new updates that has been done most recently. So again, this is going to be the basic of what you guys really want to deal with. You know, so anyway, so that's that. So just gonna go into the stats, and it's pretty cool. It really can kind of, and for the most part, this is really all you're gonna need. But I just want to, if you guys really want to kind of use Google Analytics, we can. That's what this call is for. And I'll show you how. I found some little gaps that I just didn't realize. Like, wow, you know. So, anyways, so just go into stats. So this is where all information, you can look at this last 7, 30, 90 days. And this really can tell you guys a lot. I was able to kind of share this with some, I went to a real estate mastermind. There's about 14 investors from all over the country, and you know, doing a lot of deals, 7 figures. And it was really cool to kind of teach this. And you'll be amazed how many people outside of Carrot are just so not, I guess, and I don't mean this in a negative way, so clueless about online lead generation. So, man, you guys have such an advantage as Carrot members. You guys can leverage the power of the internet and the power of the Carrot system to really help dominate your local market online. But of course, you know, if you're starting out, that can take some time to establish, but well worth the effort. So, inside the new stats, you'll kind of see your top content, which means where are your leads coming in to. So this is from the last 7 days. So you'll see that, of course, the majority is coming into your homepage, which is very normal. And then you'll see a good chunk of it is set up in the company page. And you guys have heard me say this so many times, is that when you pay attention to where your traffic is going to, that can tell you what is important to your local market. So if you found that, let's say the FAQ page was let's say your second most visited page, um, and then that probably means that, you know what, you got to ask yourself, how can I spruce up my the FAQ page? You know, me personally, the way I've done it is I've set up videos on the FAQ page. You know, so I make it easy if someone wants to read, or also if someone just wants to listen. To listen, you know, because not every and they had listen with video. And here's the thing too: not everyone's going to always want to listen to video. Always keep that in mind, because not everyone's going to be jumping on your website from, you know, conveniently. You know, many of them are probably going to be at work, or at work. Some of them might be at the library. Some of them might be on the bus on their cell phone. Maybe they don't have earbuds, so they don't want to hear people hearing what they're listening to. You know, so so you just kind of have to always remember. So don't just throw one caution I will say is just don't throw video in front of people right away. That's my personal advice. I just have found from experience that sometimes putting a video right in front of people right away can actually spook them. Because not everyone, like, here's a good example. I was at this mastermind, and I know I could be the minority, but still it happens. And I was at this mastermind, and I was trying to take a picture. I was trying to post a picture that I took of the event, as one of the speakers was when the speaker was talking, and all of a sudden I was scrolling down, and then all of a sudden the video starts playing, and it's super loud. So I was like, oh crap! So what do? I close out the app. So um, and people have kind of looked at video as something that plays automatically. Okay, so so when people see a video like right up front, like immediately, sometimes that can spook them. Like, they're afraid that it might play automatically because maybe they experienced a website that automatically played a video, and they don't know where it's coming from. And what happens, is because I get annoyed with that. If like when I'm on I'm on Yahoo, maybe in the sports section, and then all of a sudden the video plays, but I can't see where the video is coming from because it's auto playing. I don't like that. I tend to just bounce, right? So a lot of people have different perceptions about video, even though video is great. I love video, but you just have to kind of use wisdom. And if you guys ever need help on strategically positioning your video, like I said, set up a strategy call, or say, hey, or bring it up on this call. We're gonna definitely have some time left at the end of today's call after this training, and do some live diagnose. So let me know. But again, this really tells you where your visitors are going. And if you can pay attention, if you can pay attention to that, that can really, really tell you a lot. So here's something that's interesting. So this is a blog post, right? So in the last 7 days, that's gotten 4 hits. So now I want to know, okay, how are people seeing that blog post, right? So so if I'm seeing that there's a trend, then that again, that tells you something. Like, maybe I need to promote this post more on. Now, right now, I can't tell if people directly went to this page right away. Okay, meaning that, did they see this post? Did they land on the homepage first, and then they went to this article? So right now I can't tell that. That's where Google Analytics can really play a good role, right? So if I'm seeing that, so this is a perfect example. So I'm glad I'm seeing this. So if I see that a lot of people are landing on the homepage, and then they went over to this article like continuously, what I probably want to do is be able to, I say, okay, that this month I might be onto something. And what I'll do is I'll promote the maybe I'll start pushing this article online. I'll start pushing this article on Facebook, right? So sometimes that'll happen, right? You'll notice that a certain article is getting a lot of attention, and a lot of it because it might be so relevant to that market. And sometimes you'll be surprised on some topics that can really resonate and that can really help you identify. Like for an example, I was helping a good friend of mine. He ran an article. We ran an article for him um, on Facebook about fees. And man, and we've run other articles before, but for some reason this one article really took off. I mean, a lot of likes, a lot of sharing, there's just a lot of engagement. So what do we do? So we identified that, okay, in this market, it seems like people are really concerned about fees. So let's go ahead and recreate our logo and put a tagline that talks about you pay no fees with our services, or you pay no fees with our transactions, or something like that. Okay. So again, by really paying attention to how people are engaging, that can really tell you where you can focus on some of your efforts. Okay. So, and then also, of course, I like the referrals, which is, where your leads coming in from. And mine is pretty easy to identify because I just do online marketing. It's either going to come from Google SEO. It's either going to come from YouTube marketing. It's either going to come from pay-per-click, or it's going to come from Facebook retargeting. Okay, so it's pretty simple. And occasionally we'll see some that comes that says Bing. Okay, so again, then also, so some of these I don't really pay attention too much. Of course, definitely this is a good thing. We've had 11 leads in the last 7 days, which is great. Average 2 minutes and 3 seconds. All right. Which is pretty high, which is good. I like that. And then about 38% of people are coming to my website through traffic, which is interesting because, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, because I know a lot of Facebook traffic will always be through mobile, so that kind of makes sense. So let's take a look at 30 days. And again, you guys can totally mess around with your own stats on your website. Okay, so and this call was really more for those that that are driving traffic already. So this is not a beginner's call. Okay, so if you're not getting traffic, stick around. You're here already, but stick around, and we can send through your website information. We can do some live diagnose on maybe why that is going on. So this is the last 30 days. So again, same thing. Close to 80 leads. Again, we do a lot of marketing on pay-per-click and SEO. And it's been pretty consistent. Again, the company page continues to be our second most visited page. Of course, thank you page. That's always good to see that up top. That means that people opt in. Let's see. So, so again, these are just the basics. FAQ continues to be a pretty good amount. And one thing I'm seeing here too is Get a Cash Fair offer has been generating some leads for us lately. So let's use that as an example. Okay. So let me go through our website. So Get a Cash Fair offers. That's really interesting, to be honest with you. So Get a Cash. All right. So it's this page here that's getting a lot of conversion, right? So one thing I could possibly see, that's really interesting. So, one thing I could possibly do. So again, I'm loving finding these opportunities. So you're probably asking, what would you do with that? So how can I leverage that update, right? Okay. So it looks like I'm a lot of getting conversions with the get this particular page. I mean, really well. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've only gotten 40 visitors, but wow, it's like a good conversion rate. Why is that? So what I'm thinking on top of my head, and because I do pay-per-click, what I might do is use this page or test this page for pay-per-click. And then I'll probably get rid of the I'll probably duplicate this page and name it or rename the URL, and I probably will get rid of the sidebar. So it's just this right here. It kind of makes sense because that's the reason why I like here. Sometimes people don't understand why there's two forms, because what happens is you have an opportunity. So people engage, they hear this, so they see more. And let's say that this form was only right here. So they come down here. They come down here and that's it, right? So what I may do is I'm going to probably test this. And I'm going to put the step 1 form right here. And then I probably keep this one form here. So if they scroll, that's the beauty of investor carrot sites, is that anywhere they go, there's always a form within that page. Okay. So this one has 2. And the reason why for that is, like I said, if they scrolled, let's say that this form wasn't here. Now they're not having to try and find that form. At least there's another one right there to greet them again. So I love that. So I might do that. I personally still like sending people to a full website. So I might do that. I think I'm going to get rid of. So again, this is getting a lot of conversions. Okay, so what I might do is this. Joel or Amy's screen is super blurry. That might be on your end. I'm not. What you can do is, if you should see if you look at, are you on the coaching page? I'm not sure if this is Joel or Amy, but if you're on the coaching page, you'll see a little right under the video where it says video fuzzy, and it tells you how to fix that. It might be more on your end actually, because I'm viewing it from another. I have another laptop next to me, and because I want to make sure that if there's ever a technical issue, I see it right away. Yeah, so that might be more in your connection. So let me know that you heard that. So anyways, back to this. So I think what I'm going to do is go to this page. And since it seems to be converting well, I'm going to get rid of the sidebar. I'm going to test that for a while. Yep. And then at least there's no distraction. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that. And let me see. And I'm going to change out. I'm going to change out the the second form. Then I'm going to see which one they're actually going into more. So see, that's the 5. Okay, so I'm going to change out this one here. And I'm going to add form. And I'm going to get this one. Okay, update. Okay, yep. I'm going to test those. So, Okay. Yeah, I'm going to test that. So does that make sense, guys? How to pay attention? So let's kind of get a conversation going. Does that make sense? See how I'm using? See how you can use information, especially metrics, as a way to test new things, or if you begin to see a certain trend on how you can make adjustments to your website. By using this real life example, does this help? Please give me, let's get some. I really want to make sure that you guys are understanding what I'm doing. I don't want to just be clicking all over the place without you guys knowing exactly what I'm doing. So please, if you can get me some feedback, let me know. But again, why I did this is because, again, I'm just showing that, I'm showing that this page has been getting a lot of conversions. People been opting on that page. So let's go back to the 30 days. Yeah, let's get some feedback, guys. Just want to make sure you guys are comprehending this. Okay. So again, just to review, again, I noticed that this page had converted. Some leads had converted on this page. So I'm just finding ways to make it even better. So, because sometimes what happens is people may want to engage, but then sometimes they see other options, and I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I like the sidebar because the sidebar can be beneficial, very beneficial. But if you begin to notice certain things happening on your site, like I did here, then then it's worth testing. Like, okay, let's see if I can make that even better by eliminating all distractions. Okay. And again, I'm not saying a sidebar is a distraction. Typically I want to keep it there. Okay. But I'm just noticing for some reason, this page is converting very well. Contact this page. That's probably more spammers. I've noticed I've been getting some new spammers lately. People this is the funny part. Be careful, guys, when you guys go those mail that says you need SEO. My website's #1, and they sent me an email saying, "Hey, it looks like you need some catching up to do," or something like that. It just didn't make sense to send that to a website that's already ranked #1. So, sell your house again. Very interesting. Sell your house. Let's see. Sell your house. Let's see which page that is. Yep. Here again, same thing. Very similar. So it's a shorter page. Interesting. So because I've already eliminated this page here with the sidebar, I think I'm going to keep this one up for a bit. So I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm gonna move the areas we buy houses down, because the purpose of this, guys, is just more for SEO. Just to structure it to where any backlinks that are going into your website is also feeding the city pages. I mean, so it doesn't really need to be up there. So I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna see where's the widgets sidebar. Okay, so I'd rather have the testimonials up top. Cool. Okay, and then let's see what other images. Okay, that, and then I'm gonna put the post, because really there's really no need for them to see this. I mean, I don't want them, again, this is really there for, at least for me, just for SEO purposes. Okay, so so there's really no need for them to engage with that, because I don't want them clicking away. If anything, because most people will begin to drop off around here. So at least they see the testimonials first, this image, then the recent posts. Okay, so all right, cool. All right, let's go back to this. All right, so yeah, so that's one reason why, guys, to kind of start diving into some of your stats. Okay, so here's the other thing too. I'll say this while we're on the topic. Be careful thinking that traffic, just because you guys have a high number of traffic and you're not getting leads, that there's a problem. One of the things I really want everyone to start getting used to is first asking yourself, like here's the thing, like golf. I've been doing some coaching lessons lately. I have a golf coach, and one thing that was really cool, it's so simple, but yet so many people don't do this. He told me one of his goals when we first started working together is, I want you to get into the mindset, every time you hit the ball off the tee, if it goes left or right and not down straight, you train yourself to ask yourself, why it didn't go straight? There's a reason why it hooked to the left or right. Get into the mindset, because so many times people play golf and they hit it bad and they just kind of like, oh crap, like they take it as is, without trying to find reasons why, what had caused that. So with that said, if you guys are experiencing high traffic but no leads, there's a lot of variables you have to consider before thinking that there's something wrong. Like for me, like here's a good example. Like if my conversion rate was very low, but yet knowingly that all my leads come from Google, then knowing that Google will produce consistently the best leads when it comes to motivated sellers, then I can say there might be a conversion problem. But if the majority of my traffic is coming from Craigslist or let's say Facebook, and I'm talking about cold traffic Facebook, not retargeting. If I'm doing nothing but just Facebook cold traffic marketing, or I'm just posting Craigslist ads, you are going to have high traffic with low conversions. Okay. Because people are going to come to your website because they're curious. Investors come to your website because they're curious. And also, you'll be amazed how many people confuse us with being realtors. Because remember, our language is very similar. So sometimes people think that we're realtors. So what happens? They click on your ad or whatever, and they come to our site, and then they come to realize, wait a minute, it's one of those house buying companies. This is not what I'm looking for. So again, and plus, most people do not go to Craigslist or Facebook first, typically when they're finding solution as a motivated seller. Okay, so that's what I mean. You got to really first identify, where is my traffic coming from? Okay, and if they're coming from not your ideal place, then you just got to kind of be patient with it. Expect that you're going to have to reach a lot more people to get the one solid lead. So for an example, with Google, the reason why I love Google is because that's where people go proactively to find a solution. Okay. With Craigslist, you're trying to get their attention. With Facebook, same thing. You're trying to get their attention. It's two different approaches. Okay. So you just have to be patient with it. Okay. So, and then of course, and again, I'm not saying that you ignore that there could be a possible conversion. I'm just saying, learn how to evaluate things on the front end before you think there's a conversion issue or that something's wrong with the website. Usually it's a traffic issue, not a conversion issue. And when I say traffic issue, it's not, and I don't mean by numbers, it's just where's the source. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So let me dive into some good questions that are coming through. Let's address those right now, because I definitely going to have a lot of time today. So does high traffic help with rankings even if no not really. I mean, that's the thing, Faye. Traffic does not equate to, because here's the thing, you might get a lot of traffic from, let's say you put an ad in, okay, here's a good example that makes sense. So let's say you're selling auto parts. Let's say you're selling auto parts and you set up shop in a grocery store. Okay. You set up shop in front of a grocery store. You're going to get a lot of traffic, but no conversions. Doesn't mean that doesn't improve your rankings. It just probably means you're not set up in the proper place. If you're selling auto parts, you probably should go where auto people look or shop, right? So kind of that example. So, yeah, I mean, so high traffic does not really help with rankings. Google looks at how people engage with your website. Okay. The only thing that's going to help improve your rankings is by optimizing, and it's going to take time. Brand new agent website, 40 hits yesterday, but no conversion. So again, you got to ask yourself, where's that traffic coming in from? Okay. So that's one thing you got to ask yourself. And some of it, I wouldn't be, depending on maybe some stuff you've been doing on your own website, it could be half of them could be you. Unfortunately, the website does capture you as a visitor every time you go on your own site. So I'm pretty sure that a good chunk of those could be you. You mentioned that this is a brand new website. So, and then again, just because you have a lot of traffic, just because you got, let's say 40 hits, you got to ask yourself, where are those 40 hits coming from? Okay. Because to me, it's about quantity. It's about quality, not quantity. Okay. Like me personally, I would love to get 10 hits from Google, but those 10 hits are going to be very quality, versus if I put an ad just somewhere generic and I get 100 people, but yet no conversions, it was probably because I just didn't market in a high quality place. Okay. So that kind of has a role in playing that. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, you just got to have to ask yourself where your leads are coming from. I mean, where are you marketing? You know, so we can kind of dive into your from your we can dive into during the live analysis too. So, all right. Mark, did you say you might test by sending to a landing page versus full website page? Yeah, me personally, I mean, I like to send people to a full website because I look at the characteristics of a motivated seller. A motivated seller is usually first curious. They're probably not really looking to do anything right now. Okay, they're probably not looking to do anything right now. I mean, they're not going to your website to fill out a form. I think most of them are there just curious. They want to know, is this a scam? Is this real? Um, you know, um, what is this, right? So to me, if you send someone to a landing page that's already concerned, that's suspicious, or that wants more information, I just think that you're shooting yourself in the foot by sending them to a landing page. And this is what I mean too, guys. So I'll show you guys a good example. Okay, so here's a landing page, guys. So you see how there's nowhere for them to go? So if you send people here, they can't navigate anywhere. So all there is just very limited information and a form. Okay. And when you have someone who's wanting to learn more information, let's say they saw a bandit sign, let's say they saw something that it was intriguing. But remember, some of the things that we say as investors is always leery to normal people. You know, closing in 5 days is not normal. Saying, someone saying that we can buy your house without you fixing it is not normal. So you're gonna have people. You're gonna have people suspicious. You're gonna have people that are wondering, okay, is this real? Is this a scam? And I'm sure most of you, some of you, if you guys are doing deals and you guys are, I'm sure at one point someone has questioned the legitimacy of what we do. So when you send someone, again, this is more psychology. When you send someone who wants more information to a page that they can't go anywhere else, you're kind of putting fuel to the fire of that suspicion. Okay. That's why me personally, like all my paid traffic, I send them to the homepage. Now, if they want, because my homepage already serves somewhat as a landing page, right? Because there's a form, even if they engage, there's another form down here. But here's the main thing. If they want to learn more, they can navigate. If they want to know who this company is, they can navigate to the company page. If they want to learn more FAQ, they can come here and learn more. Just them by navigating, this builds rapport, right? This builds a lot of rapport. So let me see. For some, okay, there we go. I was noticing why that didn't save. So see, just by them being able to navigate, it's going to make them feel more comfortable. They're going to know, okay, this is real. There's real people behind this business. Versus this one here, there's nowhere else for them to go. You know what I mean? So again, don't get me wrong. I love landing pages. I think there's a place and time for it, but you just, with motivated sellers, you just got to have to be careful, so again, it's more psychology. So, and plus the only way you'll know for sure is if you test it. That's what I've done. And I do really well with our conversion rate with our paid traffic, very well. So that's why I'm very biased to it. And plus, if you understand psychology, it makes sense why you don't send someone to a landing page, especially a motivated seller. Now, when I'm looking for cash buyers, I have no problem sending a landing page. I do that on Craigslist. I'll do a video and the landing page, because cash buyer is a different person. Their goals are different. They're looking for a resource to find deals. They're trying to make money. They're trying to make a profit. Where a motivated seller, they're just trying to get out of a situation. They just want to be done, right? So it's two whole different people, and the way you approach them is totally different as well. So a whole different psychology to each one. So, did that make sense, Mark? Or really, I guess it was a good question that I wanted to address, that everybody was understanding that. So, yeah, Faye, I mean, like I said, direct just means someone typed in your website address. That's usually what direct means, is that someone typed in your website address. So, so again, it just comes down to how are you marketing, right? How are you marketing? So, let me know, Mark, that if that was clear, made sense, especially more on the psychology side. And again, this is something that's more for motivated sellers only. Cool. All right. So absolutely awesome. Cool. All right. All right. All right, looks like I already answered that one. So cool. All right. Also, Joel or Amy. It comes out with two different names. So I want to mess up. So let me know you guys fix your screen, okay? Because I haven't had anybody else say the same thing too. So all right, cool. All right. All right. So let's go back to the stats. So again, all these stats are coming from Google Analytics. So again, there's no need, for the most part. I mean, this is where you can really go first to kind of look at things from just on the surface. If you don't want to go in deep with Google Analytics, that's perfectly fine. You have enough information here to kind of see what the behavior, what people are finding more important in terms of where they're landing and going. Then also just learning how to pay attention to some of these, numbers, right? So, let's go back 90 days, and then I'm going to jump into Google Analytics. I'm just curious on something. So, in the last 3 months, yeah, we've done really well, especially with average. That kind of goes back to what I said. We know I do a lot of paid traffic, so I really believe people are standing. This is one reason why I feel like people, it's so important to send to your full website, with regards, because you're getting them a chance to know you. Okay. This one, you're not. This one's like, give me your information. This is what we do, and now give me your information. To where this one, you're letting them get to know you. Huge, huge difference. And if you look at my stats, it shows that it's really paying off. 3 minutes. I mean, that's a good amount of time. Okay. So same thing. Company page continues to be the most visit pages after the home page, which is great. And thank you, still the. So that's awesome. And our company page, that's pretty cool. Here's another thing. So nothing had converted recently in the first 3 months, but our company page converted some leads, and let me tell you why. I'm glad that's came up. One of the things I did was, okay, remember how I said looking for opportunity, right? How to look for opportunity. Remember a while back, I began to notice that a lot of people are coming to my page. So what did I do? I optimized this page for conversion. Okay. Remember, I paid attention to my stats. So what did I do? I put a big bold statement up top. Okay. Because I knew I wanted to get people's attention because people are coming here. And the other thing too, guys, I'm noticing a lot of people are copying my content word for word. Like, I'm okay with that, but at least change it up a little bit, please. I just, I do a lot of coaching calls, a lot of these strategy calls, and I do like to look at other websites. And I've just been noticing, again, it is what it is, because I share my website. I'm very open to my website. I just ask, let it be used for inspiration, not just something just to copy and paste. Because when you copy and paste, you never allow yourself to figure out what works well in your market. Okay, that's one of the things, one of the key things to becoming a marketer, a good marketer, very effective marketer, is by paying attention to what might work best in your market. Okay, because what I have here is what I figure out to work great for this market, but I don't duplicate this in my own into other markets I'm in. I'm trying to figure out. I try to hone in what works best there. Okay, so not trying to be jerk about it. I feel like you're doing yourself disservice if you just copy and paste other people. Okay, so I just want to say that. But anyways, so I noticed the first thing I did is I put this up here, and then I also put a picture in, and then here's another key right here. I changed out I forget what the default form was, but I changed out the form and I put in a opt-in form here. It might have been the contact us page or the contact us form, but I changed that out because here's kind of my psychology. People are going to want to know who you are. So they immediately get to know you by first reading your statement. Then they get to know you personally. My hope is that after they've read this, now they like me. Now I'm giving them a chance I'm taking advantage of that. And now that I'm giving them a chance to opt in right away instead of them having to scroll around again. So again, that's what I mean by optimizing for conversion. Okay. So, okay. So, all right. Okay. So does that make sense? So that really, so see, it's little stuff like that. I love, so that's pretty cool to see the company page convert a few times. Again, same thing. This one continues to convert some leads very well. Sell your house too. So that's interesting. Let's see. And even the last 6 months, that one article, yep, a lot of people have come here. So I need to dig in why. So I'm going to look into this. I might start pushing this on Facebook and really kind of add fuel to that fire or fuel to the fire. That's cool. Okay. All right. Again, same thing. Direct. That's probably more than likely. That's probably YouTube. Okay. And then Facebook. HollywoodWeeklyMagazine.com. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Okay. So yeah, really, really, really interesting. So I'm gonna look at this one. Let's see. Let me just look at all time real quick here. All right. So I did some testing a while back, so that's why it's number one. Our company has always been in the top. Has always been number 2. Get Cash for that's really interesting. Get Cash has converted that many leads. So does our company. See guys, that's awesome. I mean, that since I changed out that form, because again, here's the idea behind it, guys. You want to make the path for someone to give you their information as easy as possible. And you have to kind of take psychology into that consideration. Okay. So again, someone comes on my site, I want to make an impact. Say, hey, I want to make a bold statement that really tickles their emotions. And then, like I said, they get to know me personally. Now I'm hoping that they like me. Now the form's right there, prime for them. Okay. So a lot of psychology, and also a big part of it is just paying attention to these numbers. That's cool. Yeah, I love stuff like this. So anyway. That's a great question, Faye. Faye says, do you think words like solution rather than options resonate better? Man, I that's a tough one. I mean, I like options because people like options. People like knowing there's. So if you guys are doing like now, like me personally, I've how do I say this? I don't want to take you guys down a rabbit hole again, but like if I was if like I look at all my deals not just from a cash buy, but if there's a possible subject to or um, lease option, I probably would say, hey, calls for a cash offer and know all your options. Okay. I probably wouldn't say, hey, we can pick up your house on terms, or hey, we can do a lease option. I don't use those technicalities. So that's where options is a great option is a great option to use instead of saying lease options or all that stuff. Because when you begin to throw words out like that, you're going to lose people, because people are going to always be biased to think to them thinking that um to them thinking that um to them thinking that they can sell their house for cash. Everyone's biased to it. Okay. So solutions, I mean, man, that's a tough one. So I guess it depends on where you would use that, Faye. I don't know if it's in your content. Like one thing I began to do, I'm rebranding in my market here, right here, real estate solutions. So it's more neutral, but at the same time, I plan to run a lot of. I'm going to start doing a lot of. Um, I'm going to start doing a lot of Facebook content, blog articles, and I just like it that it's coming from Real Estate Solutions. It sounds more neutral. Okay, when people feel like you're out to get them, by saying like, we buy houses fast with cash. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I like the word solutions because it sounds more neutral, right? Like I'm leaving up to them to make that decision. So both of them are good. Just depends on maybe where you want to use it. Might be worth testing. So something to consider. All right, cool. So any questions on the stats, guys? Any questions on the stats? Now, again, I don't want to spend too much time on it because there's a blog article that explains all of that. So you can find out more information. It's really to the point. So, but any questions on what I went over? And also, please, I don't want to beg you, but let me know that you guys are following me. I know some of this is pretty deep, but do you guys understand how you can pay attention to stats? But at the same time, you got to guard yourself from going down a rabbit's hole. I can totally see that happen. So you just kind of have to just, use some common sense. And I hate to even say that because sometimes you don't know what you don't know, right? So I'm just saying metrics can help you identify potential problems or where to put fuel on the fire. At the same time, there's some things that may not make sense only because I don't know where your traffic's coming in from. You can't if you're advertising on Craigslist or Facebook, you can't expect the same results that people get from Google. That's comparing apples and oranges. So that's what I'm saying. Paying attention to the metrics, but at the same time, the number one question I always have for people that think that there's a problem is first question I have, where are you marketing? Because I want to identify the source of the traffic. And then I can say, okay, this is bad traffic or it's good traffic. And then we can identify where the problem is, if there is a problem. Okay. Because some marketing platforms, it just takes a lot more people. With Craigslist, I'm just kind of use that as an example. Craigslist, you probably have to reach, I'm just making this up. I'm just trying to make a point. You probably need to reach 500 people before you get one solid lead. With Google, every lead could be solid. See a big difference? So that means you just got to be more patient with places like Google, or places like Craigslist or Facebook versus Google, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Awesome. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So awesome. So getting some good feedback. Now again, that feedback was not for me. I just want to make sure because sometimes I get deep and just want to make sure that I don't get too deep where you guys are not comprehending. Because again, the last thing I want to do is send you guys down a rabbit's hole. Okay, when it comes to stuff like this, because it's easy to go down a rabbit's hole, right? If you're just getting started, you just launch your website in the last 3 weeks or a month, you're probably going to have some funny numbers starting out, so you just kind of have to build up the traffic before you really say there's a problem. Okay. So, but anyways, you can always reach out for help though. That's what I'm here for. So anyways, cool. All right. So let's go to, now you got, if that made your head spin, this one will probably make your head spin even more. So, all right. Let's see here. All right, cool. All righty. So here's a good example. So I'm inside my Google Analytics, right? And let's see. The screen might be a little bit small. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me just a second, guys. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm going to see if I can. There's a lot of data inside Google Analytics. I'm going to see if I can make my screen a little bit bigger. Okay. How do I get to where? You said your loss. Okay. All right. I'm going to try something here, guys. All right. Hopefully this helps a little bit. Okay. So Faye, I'm actually inside my, let me say this, guys. I'm going to switch over into my Google Analytics account. Now you guys, if you don't know Google Analytics, you probably have to go ahead and get yourself set up. But again, if you guys are just getting started, this call is probably not the best call to be on, to be quite honest with you. This is more advanced if you're getting traffic right now, because it makes really no sense to jump into Google Analytics if you're not even having traffic. When I say traffic, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm talking about a lot of traffic. Okay. So, but yeah, if you guys have a Google Analytics account, that's what I'm in now. I already had it open. I already signed in. I don't want to spend time on the call trying to log in if there was a problem. So yeah, right now I'm on Google Analytics. Okay. So, so again, if just a little disclaimer, if you guys are just starting out, I would get off this call and then just go work on your website. Make sure that your website is personalized. Get your content changed out. Make it more local. The carrot guide really helps you through that. So if this is confusing you and you guys are just starting, this call probably is not for you guys. Okay. And again, that's just being very, very honest. I would love for you guys to kind of really dive into getting your website up, get the marketing plan done. Last thing I want to do is just confuse you guys into something really deep. So, okay, cool. All right. Let me see if this is any better. Let's see. Okay. All right. Can you guys see the screen? Okay, because I did change my screen to where it's bigger. So can you guys see this? Okay. All right. So this is Google Analytics. It's really, really cool. So again, just a disclaimer, be very, very careful and just going down a rabbit's hole. I just want to go through some of the things that I look at to really kind of get a good understanding on maybe some clues that my traffic is telling me. Maybe some things, maybe there's some stuff that maybe that's letting me know that maybe, hey, you know what? I just need to, I need to chill a little bit. Because I know when I remember when I first got started, man, it's like, man, like if no one opted in, I thought something was wrong, right? And sometimes it just takes time to, having, you know, 100 people or 200 people and no one's opted in doesn't really justify something's wrong. It takes time to kind of build up that consistent before you can really say something's wrong. So, just wanted to say that. But so good. Google Analytics is pretty cool. So this I'm logged in right now, and so there's all these different, and I kind of left mine on default the way it is. So you'll see here on the left. So I'm going to go into audience, and then you'll see all these different options here. And I'm just going to kind of go through here, kind of see. So this is set up for the last 30 days. So you'll see I had these many sessions, users, bounce rate, new sessions, and then, pretty cool. Just really in depth, so I'll just kind of go through here. Some of this, and sometimes you just need to hear someone say it. Some of the stuff will not really pertain. There's really no need to go into it. So audience, there's really no need. I mean, you can kind of glance, so like here, this could be a good one, audience. So if you feel like you're getting a really high traffic rate, but maybe no lead-ins, again, being careful, go down that rabbit's hole. Sometimes, so if your bulk of your return visitor is return visitors, that could also mean, it could just be you or maybe colleagues or your competitors checking you out. So and that could be messing with my numbers. Okay. So just little things like that. I'm going to go to demographics. I'm going to go into overview. So here's a really interesting part too. Now, I don't know how many of you guys do direct mail, but some of this could be an eye opener too, like overview, like how many of the visitors are actually female, how many are male, right? So in this case, I have more male visitors than female. And here's a part two, very interesting, demographically, like the big age group is 25 to 34, then 35 to 44, so it just goes down more and more, right? So that's, however you can use them, your metrics, especially if you're doing specific direct mail marketing, some of this data can help you. Age, again, a big chunk of this was, here. I know a lot of times people like to target high equity, and usually someone young may not have high equity, right? But you never know. Maybe this is a demographic they're trying to help their parents or loved ones that are older, trying to help them sell their house, right? So we don't want to discredit like certain information, like, because I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you, that at least for the last 30 days, a big chunk of this could be, actual sellers. But here's the other thing too, that that could be it too. Remember, I also share my website with a lot of people on coaching calls. So a big chunk of this could be other investors. Again, remember what I said earlier? If I see a big jump in my traffic, I always want to ask myself, okay, where's this traffic coming from? And then knowing that, I shared my website on a few coaching calls, and I'm sure some of you guys will probably go to my website. So, and you might be a new investor, right? So those are the things I always pay attention to. So that might be the reason why, that this might be low, or it could be just parents, kids parents, or kids who are helping their parents, so which kind of makes sense. So there's always these possibilities I always keep in mind. So don't take everything as face value. Always kind of ask yourself, why could this be, right? And it's always great insight, right? So all right, so so gender, again, some information there, interests, overview. So the interest I don't really mess around with at all. Really not. I personally don't. So, but here's the one I like to go into his geo. Okay. So if you guys are getting a lot of traffic, like, man, what's going on? Like, let's say you guys are getting a lot of people to your site, but let's say for some reason, you know, you're just maybe suspicious. This is a good place, geo. Where's people coming in from, right? So you see here that a lot of people from Ukraine, India, Philippines, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, Canada, all these people. So more than likely, see how their numbers can mess with your numbers too. Like, I bet you a good, these are all new visitors. It looks like based on new sessions. This could be competitors, because my website gets a lot of attention because I'm ranked well. So a lot of investors, unfortunately, will hire VAs and say, hey, go copy that website or look at what they're doing. It is what it is with, what I do, but, that could be it too. You always want to see why you could be be experienced in high volume is knowing where exactly your traffic's coming from. So now I need to learn that, a small chunk of my traffic is going to always be just other people hiring VAs or these people spamming my website because I'm ranked #1, right? So, or my domain company might be soliciting my information, right? So there's always reasons why. So that's the thing I always look at too, guys. Just because you get 100 people to your site doesn't mean 100 motivated sellers. 10 could have been you. Another 10 could be spammers, and then another, so forth, so forth. So just because 100 people has eyeballs doesn't mean that all those eyeballs are qualified leads. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just go into United States. I'm going to cool thing is that, so for me, this is probably the real traffic right here. If I'm seeing a lot of numbers like Virginia 74, that's a lot. More than likely, these are investors that are on these calls every month or because I do these calls all the time. These are just too high of numbers because I don't advertise this company or this website nationwide. Now, at the same time, it could be also, but at the same time, I don't want to discredit that. Remember, I do a lot of Facebook remarketing. Okay. So it could mean that, hey, you know what? A lot of people, a lot of kids moved to Virginia from Pittsburgh that now they're trying to sell mom's house. So they could be jumping on my website from Virginia. So again, you see how I never want to discredit either way, but it's good to know where my traffic's coming from. Okay. And this is probably unusual because I do happen to share my website with a lot of other investors for coaching purposes or teaching purposes. So this is kind of unusual. So, this is not the normal. But again, so I'm seeing a lot from Virginia, Michigan, North Carolina. Let me see. Let me go right into Virginia and see where exactly. Yeah. See how cool, like Ashburn, like, like who's in Ashburn? Like, no, that's a lot for so more than likely like one city. Like this one, I could see these as being retargeting ads maybe, but for one person to go to my website 67 times, more than likely that's probably it's probably an investor or maybe a carrot member that is looking at my website continuously, maybe hopefully for inspiration, not copying. Okay. So you see how cool you can really break that down. So let me go into Pennsylvania. So this is probably the cool thing is that all these are probably true traffic. These are all areas we do market in for SEO. So Michigan, let's see who's in Michigan. Yeah, Jackson, that's a big one right there. So again, probably an investor. Yep. Okay. Texas, let's see Texas. Houston. Okay. Yeah, I mean this might be all retargeting. This might be TK who spies on me a lot. I was kidding, TK. So that's, yeah, so you kind of see like, all this. So again, just really cool thing to kind of look at. Behavior, this is really cool. I like behavior. So that's another section here. So, new visitor, these are all brand new. Let's look at returning visitors. Okay. It doesn't really give me much information. So let's go back to new. Yeah, it doesn't really give me much information. So new these are all brand new visitors this month. So 76 page sessions. Cool. So this just means that they visit multiple pages, which is okay, not bad. Okay. Frequency and recency. I'll just kind of look at stuff. So that's interesting. So so the one that again, you can just kind of go through here to see what exactly like. So the next one I kind of really like is the which was it? So benchmarking is pretty cool. I like benchmarking. So they'll kind of tell you like exactly where these leads coming from. So direct could mean typically. Now, if I did a lot of direct mail and I was putting my my website on my mail piece, then it would make sense that people are putting in my website. Okay, so more than likely these are all YouTube videos or places that I put hyperlinks and people just clicked on it. The hyperlink means it's just the website address, and someone clicked on it and Google counted it as a direct. So it may not necessarily mean someone typed it in, but it could be where I created my website address as a hyperlink or a clickable link. So a good example of that. Let's see. And what I mean by that is, see how right here? So if people are watching my videos and they click on it, even though it's a click from YouTube, Google's still looking at it as someone just typed it in, right? So it's weird. I mean, Google's not perfect. So that will make, because I don't do direct mail at all. So, but so again, a good chunk of that. So direct mail, social, page search, do a lot of those. Okay, cool. So location, again, same thing. All right. So yeah. So cool thing is that the out of country. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So my favorite really is going to be acquisition. So let's see. Take a look at acquisition. So channels. Let's go to overview first. Okay. So again, just gives you some really good insight. Direct. So what I like to do is, like organic. You see how many people are my bounce rate's very low, which is cool, which is good. That's people doing an SEO search, right? People found you by keywords in Google. This one, direct could mean that, and so you might ask, okay, why is direct higher than this one here? It could be that they absorb all the information they were looking for in the video, and what happened is that now they're ready just to engage whatever. There's no need for them to navigate around. They get it, right? So now they just see, okay, either from here they can decide to fill out a form or just call. So that's why and all bounce rate means is that they left on the same page that they came in from. That's it. That's all that means. So it's not always a bad thing, but again, it always comes back to where did this person come from. So I'm okay with my direct sources having a higher bounce rate, because more than likely where they came from already provided them with information that they know now. Where organic, remember, they have no clue. So the website is what's going to educate them. Direct means that there was probably a source that already educated them first. Now they just want to engage. Okay. Makes sense. Paid search 75%, which is not, it's not bad. Again, 80%. That's probably high because more than likely that was probably they've already been to our website, so we retarget them. So now they're coming back. Now they're either going to call or just fill out the form, or it could have been a blog post that I posted on Facebook. They read it, so the blog post educated them, right? So now they're coming in now. Okay, so pretty cool to kind of look at. Now, does that mean what I'm suspecting is dead on? Not always, but it's a good indicator. Okay, so AdWords, I don't have my AdWords set up to this account. I have it set up in a different. I wish it was linked, but it's not. So anyways, I'm going to go into Search Console. So this would really give some good indications on search. So as far as where people are landing through search, of course, homepage, and then of course all these are all city pages, so it makes sense that it's doing that. Again, countries. Again, some of this is repetitive right there. Queries. And this can kind of give you some good indication too of what people are putting in, which is pretty cool. And of course, Google's never going to reveal everything. That's why they just put other. Okay. So anyway, so what I really wanted to come to was behavior. This is my favorite part. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Okay. All right. So behavior is one of my favorite. That's actually where you can all the information in your Google Analytics or in your Carrot account can make more sense. You can go. So again, right here, same information. So what I want to do is then behavior flow. See, now I begin to see where people are going. I love this page. Let's see. All right. So this is cool. So as you see here, most people will land on the landing page, okay, or the home page. Okay. So out of all these sessions, people left the same way, and I would say a small percentage. I mean, when you compare, see right here. Okay. So 50 out of 725, there's the majority were drop-offs, meaning that they left in the same place. Okay. So then you see here, from here, they go to the company page. I don't like that thing. Okay. So the company page, step 2, which is good. And then FAQ. And then right here, this was the interesting part that I began to see. Remember, I was telling you I found this big gap. I noticed that some of my traffic, and I fixed this. So remember I was telling you I found a gap. So I noticed that some people, once they get to the step 2 form, they were going to my city pages. Okay. Let me see if I corrected it, but let me see if I can go back. A little bit further. Let's try that. So I was looking at my numbers, and I was looking at so many people were going to. Anyways, I might have to go back further, but this is interesting. Okay, so what happened was I was noticing my step 2 form. Remember, step 2 is where they go after they fill out step 1, right? Pretty simple. But I noticed that some of them were going to city pages. Okay. And one thing and what led to that was, wait a minute. So they fill out step 1, but why are they leaving step 2, then finish, and then going to city pages? That's when I found out. So I went to my website and started digging around, and come to find out my step 2 form I had left my blog. I had left the sidebar active. So I could totally see why people were getting distracted. Because remember, sometimes people doubt themselves. So if people come to the step 2 form and then they see a different area, like, wait a minute. Even let's say they came to the homepage. Remember, the homepage covers Pittsburgh. And then they go to the company page, or they go to the step 2. They fill out step 1, they go to step 2. Then they begin to see these other pages. Let's say that they just happen to see a page that was about where they're exactly at. Because remember, cities have metropolitans, right? Or cities have sub-cities. So I was noticing that I was getting a lot of people bouncing off from step 2 into other pages. Now this one, it looks like it was corrected because this is all going to the thank you page, which is what you want anyways, right? So, but like I said, I was finding, let's see, I was finding out that they were going to city pages. Okay, so, and I said, wow, what? Okay, it's like, what's contributing to that? Because I know the reason why I came that because I was noticing I was getting a lot of step 1, but for some reason people weren't finishing step 2. So that's the reason why I came in Google Analytics and start finding, okay, so let's see. So let me find this. And then sure enough, they were going to the some of the city pages. And that's when I began to see, let me just show you guys step 2 right here. Okay, so what happened was, let me just put this back on default. All right. So this is probably what happened. So people come to the step 2 form, and then they remember I just moved this up. So the areas we buy houses was up here. Remember, I changed at the beginning of the call. So they probably wondering, wait a minute. Let's just say they happen to be in Penn Hills. Like, wait a minute, now they're questioning themselves. Am I supposed to go to Penn Hill? Am I supposed to go to this one? Maybe they begin to doubt. They begin to doubt themselves. They're in the wrong place. That's what we mean by distractions. Okay, so what did I do? I end up. So let me just go back to this. So I said, okay, let me get rid of it. So I went to hide sidebar, and you have the option on each page too, guys, to do that. So now there's no more distraction. Now they just can focus, especially if they scroll down, because now the sidebar's gone, right? Now they can finish up. Boom. Okay. So that's pretty cool. That I and if you see here that no longer are people going from step 2 to city pages. Okay. Now they're going direct to the thank you page. Okay. I mean, you still see some drop offs, but it wasn't as bad as what it was before. So I love, again, this is what I mean. This is what I meant by finding gaps, right? It's seeing where people are dropping off, and usually or where people could be distracted, right? So, but at the same time, there's some pages that it's okay, right? So here's another example. I just found something. Okay, so a lot of people are dropping off on the FAQ. All right, let's go to FAQ. Okay, so people are dropping off, and I don't think. Okay, I'm going to go back to stats. Let me look at the last 180 days. Let's go to the FAQ. No conversions. Okay, but people are, if I'm looking at my numbers, people are dropping off. Okay, so they didn't they didn't go anywhere else. All right, so let's do this. Let's Because this is so consumed with information, a lot of text and video, I'm going to change out this form. So I'm going to put in the step 1 form. Okay, so right here. And this is what I'm going to do. Okay, after the first video. So there's a video. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to put a form up front or up top. Okay. And I'm going to put it in its own little section so it stands out. So that's why I'm putting these little lines. So what I'm doing here is that, okay, let's say this video, again, psychology. So they watch this first video and maybe they're happy with this video. Now they're like, you know what? This is good enough for me. This video validate what they were thinking. So now I'm making it easy for them to possibly opt in. So I'm going to put a form. But again, also, or keep reading below for more Q&A. If they want to learn more, at least I'm telling them keep reading. So I'm giving them an option. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Ooh, I like E. See just by making the separation, it just looks so much cleaner. So now if they want to keep reading, cool. And this one's kind of lost in the mix, so I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, update. All right. Ready to take action now. If so, fill out the quick form now or keep reading below for more Q&A. Very cool. Okay, we'll see how that works. Right? I'm probably going to take out the foreclosure. We haven't really got foreclosure stuff in this market, so I'm just going to get rid of that, to be honest with you. It's just another distraction. All right. Yep. I'm going to we'll test it out, see what happens. So again, see that's how metrics can really help you identify and fill gaps. That's what I meant by that. So I noticed that people are going to the homepage and then they go to FAQ. And you know what? If people are dropping off, that's fine, because you never know. It could be that they just realize, you know what? Maybe an investor is not my best option, right? So because they learn more, and if they learn more and they just feel like this is not an option, that's fine. But remember, I'm also retargeting them on Facebook. So if they decide, you know what, let me revisit that option, um, you know, I'll get them back through retargeting. So I'm not worried about it. So very cool. Very, very cool. So let's see. Let's go back to behavior. Okay. So site content. So again, this is just some really cool stuff. Same thing. Exit pages. So here's another one. So see right here, this is awesome. So this will tell you where people are exiting. Okay. So this is probably another important one. This is where people are leaving. So our company page, 42%. So again, more than likely, to me, that's not good for motivated sellers, because why they leave them our company page? Obviously it means they may not like me, but that makes sense too, because I do a lot of coaching calls, and I emphasize people to spruce up their company page. Okay, so it could be other investor. A good chunk of that could be investors go to my company page directly, and then they're not filling out. So I'm okay with that, knowing that. So this one's good. FAQ. Remember, a lot of that could be just people realize, you know what, this ain't for me. I'll do that. So that's okay. Contact us. That makes sense. That could be a lot of spammers, filling out our contact us page, right? So, and you see these numbers get lower and lower, which I'm okay with. Okay. So we're getting a lot of those. So exit pages is a really good way to kind of determine that as well. So, and those are only ones I really pay attention to really, guys. That's it. I mean, but again, nothing too deep, pretty basic, not taking you down a rabbit's hole, but you just got to have to use, like I said, this call was really meant for people who are generating a lot of traffic right now, that maybe you're looking for little ways to see if there's anything you can do to improve the website. Not to say there's anything wrong, but you always want to make sure you can do things that make your conversions maybe just a little bit better. Okay. So now if you guys are just getting started, you're still getting yourself set up, I really wouldn't even bother or care about this stuff. Get your get the traffic ramped up, get people to come into the website. Let that be your focus. Get people to the site. Okay. So, and then worry about this other stuff later down the road. Again, this call was more for people that are generating a lot of traffic, and see if there's ways you can do things a little bit better. So anyway, yeah, cool. So yeah, let's man, this call, I meant this call to be done by 3, so we can do a lot of analysis calls or live diagnose calls. So, but I went a little bit over. So I can do a few questions. If you guys have some questions about what I did, please send those through here as soon as possible. All right, see if there's any questions. Adrian, love the psychology stuff, the flow of the personal side, if you will. Yeah, no, me too, Gary. I'm telling you, I mean, psychology plays a big role, guys. Again, I don't say that to overwhelm anybody. I'm not saying you got to be a psychologist to be a good marketer, but to me, there's so much more than just telling people we buy houses and think that's going to hook people in. We have to understand what brings people in, and then also how do they engage, and how they engage with your website can tell a story. It can leave you clues and hints on what's important to them, because that's really what it comes down to, is what's important to them. Okay, it's not about how we want to market, what we think we should say to market. It's paying attention to how people respond to it and then making adjustments. Because to me, psychology is big, because it's about connecting with the seller. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, and sometimes just saying we buy houses, or we can, just your common things that we say, sometimes that's not enough, right? So so you just kind of have to, and that just comes through experience too. I don't expect you guys to get this like after this call. Don't get frustrated. It took me, some years to really put this all together, and I just want to make your journey a little bit easier, but it's still going to be a process and learning curve for you guys too as well. So, But yeah, Gary, thank you so much for the feedback. TK, I sent the Ukraine mob after you. That is great stuff. Cool. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, on the topic. Du-du-du. Good stuff. Please go over some more real world examples. Hopefully, Roger, that you got a lot out of just using my information as a way to really connect the dots. Because sometimes you do need that's the way I would learn best is real life examples. I'm not a big theoretical guy. So um, I'm the same way. Cool. All right. All right. And make sure that there's no other questions. Okay. Yeah, no questions. All right. Well, I want to kind of stick around for a little while too, guys. I know some of you might have got a late start on the call, so you're still watching the call through. So if you have any questions, please feel free to send those through and I'll make sure to get them answered. But yeah, thank you guys. Would love some feedback on this call. If you guys want to go over more of the psychology stuff and how that ties into metrics, please let me know you got a lot out of this call. So we'll do more of these calls if you guys want. Okay. We're both on the beginner side and also on the advanced side. This is something I just enjoy doing is just seeing some of the different angles of what has impact. So would love your feedback because really these calls are about you guys. I don't want to just talk about stuff that I enjoy talking about, even though I think you'll benefit from that. But we want to make sure that we're always covering topics and strategy that really you guys can benefit from, things that you can actually take action on today and that can potentially have an instant impact on your business. So make sure that you're utilizing this time each and every week to hop on, ask your questions. Because I mean, utilize these calls. I mean, like I just came back from a mastermind. People paid a lot of money to listen to us experts. You guys get it for free. I mean, it's not free because it is. I mean, you guys are paying for the service, but I'm just saying, people pay me and Trevor a lot of money to be able to give these type of insights at different mastermind groups, and you guys have access to it through these coaching calls each and every week. So make sure you guys are utilizing and jumping on these calls, but also let us know what you want to talk about, things that obviously there's going to be some elementary stuff that you guys are going to have to kind of do on your own to get started. Like, everybody says, well, I want to get more traffic, and then, ramp up your marketing, and how you're going to market is usually going to be tied into your budget and your resources, obviously, but we can help you put that all together. Just head over to oncarrot.com/call, oncarrot.com/call. Okay. And then we can do that. So I think that's about it. Yeah. So is there a blog or class on setup? Just reach out to support TK. It's really easy. You just have to, I don't have time to go through it step by step, but just reach out to Jake or there is a tutorial that we have in the help section that tells you how to set it up. So just reach out to support and they can help you with that. Just ask them to send you that tutorial on setting up your Google Analytics. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. So awesome. I think we're good. Let us, if there's anything else we can do for you, please reach out. Thank you so much for taking the time that you took to be on this call. Again, any feedback you can give us, that'll be awesome. Until next week, we'll see you then. Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everything. All right.